Hi, my name is Alyssa Hope Wagner, and today I'm going to talk about prayer. The disciples, Jesus' disciples, asked Jesus, how can we pray? And Jesus gives a very simple prayer, and that prayer is good to memorize, but also the prayer is a format for how we can pray to God. And so the first thing Jesus says in the prayer, he says, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen." So praying in secret. And this doesn't mean you can't pray around other people. It's actually really good to pray in front of your kids and to pray in front of your friends whenever they have a prayer request. I try to make it a rule that when someone asks me to pray for them, I do it right there, no matter where we're at. But it does mean that just like a relationship with your spouse, you need to be alone with God. So there has to be times every day where you go into a closet, or when you're in the car, or just when you're alone with God, that you pray to him. So the first thing is to find time to pray with God, just you and him alone. The second thing Jesus says is, "Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name." And that's just recognizing who God is, that we have a relationship with God merely because of Jesus Christ. That if there wasn't the mediator there of Jesus, there would be no way that we, in our imperfect state, could talk to a holy God. So just recognizing how God is holy and we're able to speak to him through Jesus. The third thing Jesus says is, "Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." And so that's just agreeing with Jesus' plan, or the kingdom plan. And what is the kingdom plan? It's to bring as many people to heaven as possible, and it's to share love and grace with people. And so we want to agree with that kingdom plan, and so every day our mind is kingdom minded. And so we can always have that emphasis in our life, regardless of our situation or the circumstances, that we want to love God and to love others. The fourth thing Jesus says is, "Give us today our daily bread." And I love this because it just means God's going to provide your needs. And we're going to believe that he will provide our needs. And the basic need is food and water. And so if God can provide food and water for you, he'll be able to provide all those other needs that you have. And so we don't have to carry those needs. We just trust that God's going to provide those. The fifth thing he says is, "And forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors." And so that is just this process of forgiveness that we need to have in our life. Because when we hold on to unforgiveness, it's really going to just hold us down. But when we realize how much we've been forgiven, that we have been forgiven completely, that we can be in heaven with God, that helps us, that realization that we can spend eternity with a holy God because of forgiveness, helps us to give forgiveness out freely to others. And it doesn't mean you're not going to be hurt or disappointed, but it does mean that we instantly give that hurt and heartache to God, and then just start that process of forgiveness. And the last thing he says is, "And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one." And that's just having a lifestyle of guarding your heart, guarding your mind. We have the tree of knowledge of good and evil all around us. We can choose, especially with the internet, we can choose to dive into the internet and see things that we don't have the grace for. And it can cause covetousness in our life or discontent in our life. Or we can dive into things that fill us up, like scriptures and devotionals and podcasts, and just we have a choice to fill our life with things that are of God, or fill our life with things that are not of God. And so we really want to aggressively try to shun those things that are not of God, and just fill ourselves up with the freedom and the beauty and the love and the creativity and the excitement and awe of God, because he is all of those things. Again, my name is Alyssa Hope Wagner. I hope you enjoyed this article, and I would love for you to share this post.